Of course, we want to stop the war. Thank you for this meeting. Thank you for your personal efforts to stop this war just now, Mr. President. And I have to say that just now our first ladies of Ukraine, first ladies of the United States,
Yes.
just now we'll have a meeting about Ukrainian children. Thank you for Melania's personal involvement to this topic. And this is very important. I will brief Mr. President and his team what's going on the battlefield. We have good news. Of course, we want to stop the war, and with your help, first of all. And it's good that our soldiers occupied 360 kilometers this month. And of course, we will speak about how to finish the war and about security guarantees. A lot of what to discuss. Thank you.
Would you like to say how you're doing on the battlefield?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So we, thanks to our soldiers and to possibility to Pearl, the program when NATO countries, by the way, thanks to your support, they can buy weapons from the United States. So our soldiers, these months, they occupied 360 kilometers and they encircled 1,000 soldiers. And of course, we want to exchange. Because we need our soldiers in any case, but thanks to our soldiers we have this possibility, this opportunity, and we will continue until Russia will stop this war, and I hope that they will stop in any case. We know that the economy of Russia is not doing well. With this, during this war, we need more pressure, more sanctions, and I hope with United States, first of all, and Europe, but we support, Mr. President, your idea, and I want to discuss it, how to stop some countries from Europe, to stop the possibility to buy Russian oil and gas. Yes, I had a conversation, by the way, with President of Slovakia, Prime Minister. We had a good conversation. I think that they need some alternative ways that they will support this idea. I'm not sure that Hungarians are ready, but everything is in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Mr. President, do you think that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if they enter their airspace?
Yes, I do.
Mr. President, any update on your talks with President Putin, and do you still trust him?
I'll let you know in about a month from now, okay?
President Trump, your message to the...
to provide Ukraine with the security guarantees the same way as European allies
Well,
do?
that's later down the road. We'll be talking about that. Hopefully, we'll be in a position to talk about that a little bit later on. It's a little bit too early to answer.
Why
that
do you
question.
think Mr. Putin is not
Yeah, go
willing
ahead,
to meet
please.
with both of you?
President Trump, your message to President Orban, who is refusing to stop buying Russian oil.
Well, he's a friend of mine. I have not spoken to him, but I have a feeling if I did, he might stop, and I think I'll be doing that.
Thank you.
What progress do you think has been made on ending Russia's war against Ukraine since the last time you saw President Zelenskyy?
Well, the biggest progress is that the Russian economy is terrible right now. It's, as you know, it's crashing. And that, frankly, Ukraine is doing a very good job of stopping this very large army. It's pretty amazing. You know, this is a war that should have ended in 3 days, 4 days. People said it was going to be very quick, and you got to hand it to the Ukrainian soldiers and everybody involved. It's still going on, and that's not a good thing for Russia. This was supposed to be quick, and so, you know, Russia doesn't look very distinguished, having taken 3.5 years now, right? It's about 3.5 years of very hard fighting, and it looks like it's not going to end for a long time.
Mr. President, have you been briefed on the latest alleged drone incursion into Denmark? What do you think of that? And
Where are they?
Into Denmark, Copenhagen. Denmark is saying that there were some drones that shut down an airport, possibly Russian sabotage. What's your response to that? Will the U.S. have a material
Well, I
response
have
to that?
no response until I find out exactly what happened. I know about it, but they don't know what happened. But we're going to find out very soon.
Sir.
Would you back up NATO allies? You said that you thought that they should shoot down the Russian aircraft. Would you back them up? Would the United States help them out in some way?
Depends on the circumstance, but, you know, we're very strong toward NATO. NATO has stepped up. You know, when they went from 2% to 5%, that was great unity. Trillions of dollars is being pumped in, and they're paying us for the weapons that we send. But That was a big day. That nobody thought a thing like that could happen. You had countries that weren't paying 2%, and now they're all paying 5%. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of weapons they're buying, and they're buying them from us. They're buying them from the U.S. You know, in the old days, Biden gave them everything, gave them $350 billion worth of money and weapons. It's a lot of money and a lot of weapons, and we got really not much for it. We gave the money to Ukraine to fight, and they've proven they're very brave. I mean, look, they're fighting, and this is a war going on 3.5 years, and people thought it would be over quickly because Russia's a big military power, and Ukraine, I tell you, they are good fighters. Got to hand it to them. They have a lot of courage, a lot of guts. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Thank you.
And as we've been following everything coming out of the UN there and the president's speech earlier this morning, he actually sat down, as you could see, with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Zelenskyy asking for more sanctions against Russia, more pressure from allies, also asking the President Trump, to encourage other European countries to stop buying Russian oil and gas. Our Rena Roy is just outside the UN there at the headquarters in New York. She was listening as well. Now the question is, what will Trump do? Will he up the pressure on Russia and also European countries to stop buying Russian oil and gas?
Right, Kira, that is the big question right now. And as we heard Trump this morning address the UN members, he did ask countries to ramp up the pressure along with him, saying that will be the only effective way to stop this war. And as you said, that meeting, it just wrapped up a short time ago. Right off the top, Trump called Zelenskyy a brave man, saying that Ukraine is also brave, saying that the people there have a lot of courage. And Zelenskyy thanked Trump for trying to stop the war. And Trump asked him about his war efforts. He had a number of questions for Zelenskyy, saying that they are doing a great job pushing back the Russian army over the last several years. And you'll remember, as we pointed out this morning, Trump called out countries that are continuing to buy oil from Russia, saying that they are helping fund this war. He also threatened more sanctions, as we just mentioned, against Russia, and asked other countries to join him, saying that the pressure on Putin needs to be ramped up here in order to end this war once and for all, Kira.
Yeah, what did you make of President Trump when he did go before world leaders, making his speech early this morning and actually criticizing the very entity that he was speaking before, really ripping into the UN and its efficiency?
Yeah, I think ripping in, Kira, is the right word. He really did not mince his words when speaking to those UN members. He told them directly to their faces, look, you guys are not taking action. You're writing letters with empty words, saying that he's the peacemaker, that he will take action to end these ongoing conflicts that we are seeing unfold overseas here.
All right, let's bring our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott. Rachel, you were there as well, along with Rena Roy, listening to the president's speech. What stood out to you?
Yeah, well, Kira, this has just been a remarkable set of weeks here. Just going back to when we were in Alaska, I was traveling on board Air Force One with the president for that face-to-face meeting, that historic summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And it was fascinating on the way there, the president really pushing, thinking that he was going to walk out with some sort of agreement, some sort of common ground with Vladimir Putin. As we know, that summit ended with no ceasefire, no agreement in place. And in fact, the violence only continued, with Russia continuing its onslaughts against Ukraine. And so all eyes have really been now on not only the president's relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, even in today's address to the United Nations, the president really making it clear that he has this direct line, right, with Putin, that he's able to communicate and talk to him in ways that other foreign and world leaders and even some of our allies are unable to do. But the question is how he can get him to stop the violence and possibly end the war, as the president has campaigned on. The president president has tried strong words. He has brought him here to the United States. He has sat across the table with him. He's had phone call after phone call, and the violence still continues. And so now we're seeing this meeting unfold once again between Zelenskyy and President Trump, part of a series of meetings that have happened in recent months. But the bottom line from Zelenskyy, he says that he does not see any movement. And he had that warning even heading into that summit that he believed that the president could be getting played by President Putin.
All right, Rachel Scott, Rena Roy, ladies, thank you.